call meeting, Ware County Board of Commission, Monday, October 23rd, 23, 4 o'clock. I'm gonna do a roll call first. Mr. Burse, Mr. Pope,
Present.
Mr. Lucas,
Present.
Mr. Barner,
Present.
Chairman here. Okay. Let's do I'm gonna ask Dee if he would come up and say a prayer for us before we start.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all your many blessings. Lord, we're thankful for this beautiful weather. Lord, we're thankful for all the good that you do for us. Now, Lord, let everything that we say and do in this meeting be pleasing to you. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Burse is in.
Yep.
Let the record show. Okay. I want to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda that's set forth in front of us.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Got a motion and a second. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burse?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. We're gonna go ahead and do the guest speaker first. Let's go ahead with the guest speaker here. We got one, Mr. Mark Brett. Is he here? Mark Brett. He didn't show up. Okay. Anybody here for him or anything? Not? We'll move on.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, before we move on to the next item of the agenda, I wanted to take a minute and just introduce Ms. Amelia Crockett, who has accompanied me to the meeting today. She is interning with my firm this fall. She's a student at AVAC there in Tifton. So I just wanted to introduce her to the commission and let you all know that she is here with me today to observe your meeting.
Okay, what's her name now?
Amelia.
Amelia, okay.
Glad to have you,
Good
Miss
to meet
Amelia.
you. Glad to have you. But, thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You might
Okay.
learn more from Miss Jennifer than you will us, so.
Okay. Anything else? If not, before we go into the items, we're gonna go in executive session. I make a motion, hear a motion,
We'll need to approve the minutes first. And then go into
we need to go ahead with the
executive
minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's approve the minutes for September 2023. On the call meeting, the work session, the public hearing, and the regular meeting. We can do them all at one time, can't we?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the meeting minutes of September 1, 2023, the work session of September 11, 2023, public hearing of September 11, 2023, and the regular meeting of September 11, 2023.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. Okay. Let's do a vote on it, everybody. Mr. Burse?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna do the, consider the motion to enter into an executive session to discuss litigation and personnel. I hear a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Okay, go in a executive session.
And we'll vote on it. I know we got a motion in a second, but
We need to vote on it, right?
yeah.
We need to vote on it. Okay, Mr. Burse?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. Keep your statement. Motion that we come out of executive session.
I make a motion, we come out of executive session.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Aye. Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Agenda items. We
Don't forget,
need to, oh yeah, okay. Before we get into the agenda item, Roger wants to come up here. Bring in something.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Roger.
I know it's a little impromptu, but I had spoke to the county manager earlier. I need to get y'all some information what's gonna happen December first. With side-by-sides, it's gonna be on the county roads. State legislature, they passed a law back in, around February, where it will be legal for citizens in Georgia to tag side-by-sides and to drive on county roads only. So there's some requirements for that, is they have to have seat belts, headlights, taillights, brake lights. No four-wheel drives, you gotta be able to sit in it with steering wheel, and, they gotta have automobile insurance. Let's see, what else was it?
Valid driver's license.
Yeah, you gotta get a valid driver's license, so there's they put all these requirements in. And yes, they're now, come December first, they're gonna be able to start registering. And I was talking with the sheriff, I called him, and the option that the state gave us was, they can sign an affidavit saying, hey, all this stuff's there. Or the second thing would be for somebody to inspect them, and they was gonna put that on the county. So I was talking with the sheriff, and, I asked him if he wanted to inspect them. And he said, at first, he was like, well, not really. And I said, well, let me give you my perspective. Your deputies are gonna be dealing with them. If there's a wreck, you're gonna be responding to them. I said, and if they have a tag on it, and say they didn't have their seatbelts, or seatbelts were removed, and there was wreck, there could be a possible lawsuit that may be frivolous. You may be able to win it, but the bottom line is, somebody needs to inspect. And I said, I think it would be best for you guys to do for us. And then when he started thinking about it, he agreed to that. So December 1st, we'll have a checklist in place, and to be able to get tags, they're gonna have to go through the sheriff's office to be able to get that tag, the silent signs. Not hurt. So, the other thing is, it cannot be older than the buggy cannot be manufactured prior to January 1st of 2001. It can be a 2000 model, but manufacturing date has to be after January 1st, 2001. So just to let you guys know, you're gonna start seeing buggies on the road. They're gonna have a tag, they got their own little special tag on it. And they can become from Atkinson County or Coffee County as long as they're on county roads. They can cross state highways, they can cross city roads, but they have to stay on county roads. So as far as the inspection, I wanted you guys to know this, what we're doing and what you're gonna be seeing, because they're gonna be more on the road now. And, we have people who's always calling and say, well, they're riding side by side down the road, whatever, it's gonna be illegal for them to once again, let me tell you, got sidetracked. So they're gonna be tagged, but they're gonna be taxed as personal property. So we won't send, when they get their tags, they just renew the tags. Taxes will come for personal property, it'll come through the Board of Assessors. So when every November 15th due date, they'll have taxes on them if their personal property is over $7,500.
So how are you gonna track it and make sure they've been paid?
So, that's
When
gonna
they-
be a deal. I mean, that's gonna be one of the tax bills, So if they're not paid, and that's the other thing, if they're not paid, we can suspend the
Suspend the
tax.
So
registration.
if I got $20,000 side by side now, I'm not paying taxes on it, right?
But see, that's the thing is, they don't have to tag them, but if they don't tag them, they cannot ride them on the dirt roads legally. and that's where they can still face fines.
How about golf carts?
Golf carts, no.
They're fine?
Yeah, no, they're still the laws are still the same with golf carts, we can't tag them. We can't tag those.
Okay.
But like I said, they have to have automobile insurance, they have to have their seatbelts on, they have to everything, and it will be checked off, and they'll maintain that checklist in case something happens. We've seen the past couple of weeks, different people, people get killed. And if they're tagged properly, they can't come back on them and try to say, well, the county gave me this and it didn't have this stuff on it. Well, we don't have to worry about it affidavit, we gotta have to actually be inspected by a deputy law enforcement that they didn't have everything at the time.
So
Are you gonna require the insurance on the,
Yes.
if it gets that tag, it'd be insured?
Automobile insurance. And
Automobile
they will
insurance.
have to, for it to they have to have it uploaded into the system just like a car. Because if it's not, they gotta give us a binder, and if they don't have one, they're not gonna get a tag until they get insurance on it.
and if you're caught driving one on the road without tag, they're gonna write you without tags, just like a car.
And tow it, yeah.
Okay.
Roger,
Registration, tow it.
might be a little naive about this.
Now,
Side
I know, Commissioner, I know you're gonna be naive about side by side, because you're a city board, I understand.
Yeah. So what's side by side? I mean,
That's where me and you can
Yeah,
sit
that's a
side by
UTV,
side.
A utility vehicle, Polaris Ranger, like you see the buggies, you
Hondas.
know, you got, a mule, who makes
Girl
it?
just got killed.
Mule?
one,
John Deere?
night.
John Deere mule, and you got, there's
John Deere.
Can-Ams and.
Gators.
okay, so what's the difference in that and the golf carts? I mean, people, they ride the golf carts, but they can't get on
The
the road with them,
CCs?
is that?
It's the CCs of the engine.
Well, so there's a lot of difference between these.
Okay.
Golf cart
The same
could be an
for us.
electric golf cart, it could be a gas one, but they do not meet,
Speed limit sign.
the speed limit, because the other thing is they have to go 25 to 65 miles an hour.
Okay.
You got a golf cart going 25 miles an hour, it doesn't have a stock motor in it, it's got one that's been changed out to like a.
About 23 is what they govern at, 23 miles an hour golf cart, what ours is.
Well, I don't know, I've had mine wide open, it was only showing about 18,
It wore out.
so.
So I mean, we'll be getting a little bit more revenue in for the county.
Well,
right?
they're gonna be taxed.
Okay.
But, so the option's gonna be there. You know, initially, we get all these calls, but once they finding out all the requirements and then how it's gonna be taxed, because currently they're not yet. They pay their sales tax and that's it. But
Will that be personal property, just like a
Boat.
just like a boat,
boat,
plane,
tractor, or anything else? Personal.
your
Will
tools.
it
that you-
depreciate down?
Yeah,
There
they'll
we go.
depreciate. But again, when you have, if somebody's got a side-by-side, 9 times out of 10, they got a boat, or they got something else. And that $7,500 is not a single item value, it's a collective value.
Huh.
So not just on the
So,
side by side.
so if you got, I mean, it's just like if you had two boats, one was $7,000 and one was $1,000, the combined value is $8,000, you got taxed on $8,000.
I never knew that.
Okay.
So I just want to let you guys know that.
It's already been passed, let you.
Yeah, that legislation's been passed, and that's what, and talking with the sheriff, what we want to do here in Ware County to make sure we're keeping track of everything, and we're making sure that we're covered, the county, as far as what's being approved, and that everything's there, and it's gonna be filed, our system's gonna be filed.
You'll have a public notice in the newspaper for 2 or 3 weeks to let everybody know what's going on.
Well, I'll see if I got that on my budget, but
You
if I
got
don't,
it.
I'll just have to go
Sure
over the
you'll
budget, but I'll
find
do something with it. Yeah,
You'll find
yeah,
it.
we're gonna do that.
We need to let them know it.
We're gonna put that out there, but, like I said, the law passed, it went into effect July 1st, but they gave the revenue department till January 1st, but they said they'll have everything done by December 1st.
Another way to make a dollar.
Just to
Okay,
give y'all heads up, and let y'all know, and that's, like I said, we're looking at covering Ware County's liability on anything that happens in the future.
Thank you so much, Mr.
You say the sheriff's good with his people inspecting them?
If the
Yeah,
sheriff,
We talked about it in depth, and, we both agree it was the best way to go.
so if the sheriff refused to inspect these vehicles, who would do it?
Well, it could come back to either us, or we could just say, fill out this affidavit and have a thing on there. Let's see. What's the law say on that, about false?
False report,
Precinct.
false
False
statements,
charges affidavit?
that's a felony, false statements in
That's-
writing.
So that would be covered under that, but
But how do we
at the
know
same
that?
time, you got the deputies and sheriff's department's gonna be responding to that stuff. So we just said, you know, we think for the liability purpose and what you gotta, you can pull up and you'll know whether or not they pass your inspection.
What's that law number? What's the
Roger.
statute?
Top of my head, I can't think of it, but I think it may be.
Text
like-
it to me if
I
you don't
think
mind.
The House bill, I think it's 138, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
Top of my head, but I'll get it for you.
All right.
Is, now, how about farmers, blueberry farmers and all that people got them out on the farm? If they
Farms
don't
are
wanna go
fine.
on the dirt roads, then they don't have to register.
No, you don't have, no, you do not have to.
Don't have to buy the
no,
tag.
You do not have to tag. But you got all these people who like to ride dirt roads.
Right,
And most, you've seen them coming up and down
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
I
all
know
the
you've seen
time.
them out there where you're at. And now they're gonna be able to do it legally, but there's different requirements that has to be met prior to getting that tag.
okay. So if you use it on the farm or something.
Yeah, if they're on
don't
the
have
farm,
to-
they're doing,
don't
they
keep it on
do
your
not
land.
have to, no, they don't have to do
Common sense approach.
it. Yeah,
Don't have to, okay.
yeah, if you don't have to,
Was
you don't.
not
want to,
requiring it, yeah.
No, well, it's not required. This is not a requirement to tag them, but it is for you to ride them on the dirt roads.
Is that just county roads or county and city?
County,
Oh, so they,
County only.
they can cross city.
They,
That's
yeah,
it.
well, like the smaller towns, you got, going across the road, they can do that, going across out of Corpus
highway.
which will.
Okay.
But going across state roads,
They
they
won't
can
be-
cross them as long as they're going back onto a county.
There's gonna be a lot more maintenance on county roads,
Yep,
Yeah.
because they'll be burning donuts on those things
Shit, they
every
already
day.
do it
every
now.
day. Messing up trouble.
Just one,
Thank you.
yes, I know.
Thank
all
you,
right,
appreciate it,
thank you, Roger. Thank you for the information. Okay, we're gonna go to A. The ordinance amendment to chapter 42, license and business regulations.
Hey, Jimbo, can you speak to this one, please?
How's that? Jimbo, come on up here.
Thank you. This is a request to amend chapter 42 of the license and business regulations. Basically, all we're doing is adding language in there to require any new business before they issue a business license to have the building inspected before a license is issued. Now, well, it writes in there an exception for home occupations. So if you've got an office in your house, we're not going in there to do that, but we'll do any like freestanding building that you have a business in. So
Okay.
what we were looking for, be life safety code issues, things such as no round doorknobs, panic hardware on the door, exit lights for emergency backup, so if the power goes out, something happens, the lights come on, people can still get out of there. Smoke detectors, GFIs, those type of things.
That's on any kind of businesses,
Yes, sir.
okay?
For the most part, we do those now, but we're just putting it right in there.
Yeah.
So it makes it a requirement.
Okay.
I got a question on a different subject. You got a mobile home, somebody moves out, that's a rental property, stays vacant for 6 months. Does it have to be inspected?
If the power is cut off,
If power cut off, that has to be
it
inspected?
has to be inspected.
Thank you.
That's if the power's cut off for the full 6 months,
For
right?
6 months, right. Power companies won't turn it back on without inspection.
Is that just a meter box, or is that the inside of the house and everything?
We look at the meter base, and then we look for GFIs and smoke detectors. But what we do on manufactured homes is we don't require, like in a site-built home, you require to hardwire the smoke detectors with battery backup. In the manufactured home, we don't require them to be hardwired, they can just be battery operated.
James, have you saw that, the increases that's gonna be on all that inspection and stuff? The state has increased.
I know the
You know it's
manufactured
coming,
home
don't you?
divisions, they're trying to get it where they inspect all manufactured homes,
Yeah.
that are set. They've increased their, state fire marshal's office, they've increased their personnel, and they wanna start inspecting every mobile home that's set, which they do a little different. I mean, they crawl under the homes, they do a very thorough, inspection. Where we look at setups, the blocks are okay, but they're looking at the bolt and pattern underneath it, if it's double wide and, so.
James, on the mobile homes, you know, just like, I know in the city, when you have a home, they require that you have synchronized smoke detectors. Do they require that on the mobile home?
New mobile homes have those,
Synchronized?
synchronized.
Okay.
On used mobile homes, we let them put the battery operated, so
Right.
they won't be synchronized.
Okay.
Unless they buy, Bluetooth.
Okay.
You can buy Bluetooth, fire alarms now that link together.
Okay,
Chairman, I offer a motion that we,
you gonna make a motion? to
yeah, approve
accept
the ordinance
order?
number, chapter 42, of the license and business regulation.
Okay, now you got a motion, you got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. Let's go to the bid award for the Georgia DOT LMIG roadway improvement project. That's on, this is, the sealed bids were accepted, the Ware County and Georgia DOT LMIG resurfacing project on October the 18th, 2023 at 2 p.m. We have one bid, East Coast Asphalt was apparent low bidder of $1,661,820.90.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept East Coast's asphalt, bid for $1,661,820.90.
Okay,
I'll second that.
got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What's the timeline on this, Scott?
I don't know. Brandon, you know what the timeline is on that project?
I didn't bring the copy of the specifications in here with me, I apologize, Commissioners, but usually we have somewhere around 6 months on a resurfacing project of this size.
Okay.
In other words, talking about to complete it.
To complete it.
Be completed.
Do you
It's
have,
in different locations.
Y'all approved it, we'll let the contractor know his bid was approved, and he'll go out and get his, performance and payment bonds and all those sort of things, and have his, contract signed and sent over to us, so we can check everything and get it to the attorney's office, and then look over everything, make sure everything looks like it's in order, and then we can, that usually takes 30 days or so approximately, and then maybe we'll be ready. It's 30 days or so to actually give them a notice to proceed to begin the work. Once everything checks back out with that.
Okay.
How are you gonna,
Brandon?
how are you gonna lay out what's first? By priority, what's the worst, like fixing roads is the worst shape? Or how are you gonna prioritize this list?
Yeah, a lot of times we'll just, if there's any kind of rhyme or reason to anything with however the contractor proceeds the work amount, is there one on there that y'all would prefer for us to start on? I don't know if that was actually, in the bid, giving him a list of how he should proceed.
That Dixie Union Road, I like to see it kinda on the first of the list, cause it's a bad road.
Yes,
Just kind of keep them in one location before we move.
they're gonna want to be in one location and, work as they go. They're not gonna wanna jump around all over the place. They're gonna wanna go through everything in kind of a organized manner and not do a lot of jumping around.
Right.
It costs money to move that equipment.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Scott, is that 1,202,000 that's coming from LMIG funds? That's
Yes, sir.
State?
Yes, sir. That's the grant we get from DOT for that purpose.
Okay.
And then the other part of the funds will come out of the 2014 SPOS. Yes, sir.
457, okay. All right. Is there anything else from
That's it.
Ben? Appreciate it, Brandon.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. We got a motion and a second. It.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just need to vote on it.
All right, let's vote on it. Is there any more discussion? If not, Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Aye. Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. This is C, the resolution 2023-28, fiscal year 2025, regional transit grant application.
Mr. Chairman,
And,
Commissioners, this resolution authorizes the submission of that grant application for the regional transit program, and the regional commission administers this. There's no cost to the county for doing this.
Right.
Is that
just-
the
it's
little buses
continuation.
that run around town?
Yes, sir.
Is that-
the vans, the walk-in vans? Yeah,
It's a good program.
yeah.
They got several of them vehicles on it.
Quite a few, yes, sir. They keep them out at the, some of them are kept out at the regional commission office. They run it from there.
Do they go all over all 9 counties with that?
All 18
18
counties.
counties.
18 or
Yeah.
18?
Each county has its own,
Oh, it does.
yes, sir.
That comes out of that 1 cent regional money, don't it?
No, sir, it actually is funded through, Georgia DOT and the US, Highway.
Department of Transportation.
Oh, it is?
Yes, sir.
It's not funded through regional then?
No.
No, no,
State
sir.
and federal.
Okay.
The chairman, I move we approve resolution 2023-28 as presented by the manager.
Okay.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not, let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Now, we're gonna go to D. Ordinance of 2023-04, establish maximum speed limit on Tanner Lane and Winclay Drive.
Uh-oh.
Now,
This
there's no
was-
speed
this-
limit that's ever been set on that, so it's a new road, ain't it?
Yes, sir. There was a request to do this. It hasn't been posted. The signs have been posted, but the sheriff's office can't run radar on there unless it's adopted in our ordinance. And so this will establish the maximum speed limit for those 2 streets.
So it's down to 15, is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Crooked as that road is, we need it 15 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the established speed, ordinance 2023-04, establish the max speed limit on Tanner Lane and Winclay, 15 mile an hour.
Okay.
I'll second.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say that, and I guess to whoever the contractor was and to the people that stay in that area, I think that's in your district, Steve.
Half of it's mine,
Half
half
of it,
of
half
it's
of
Tim's.
mine,
I
yeah.
think I went out the other day and purposely rode, and, I think that's a great improvement out there, and
Looks
especially
good.
for the people in Jamestown, and, for them to be able to get out.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it's gonna create a lot of undue necessary traffic out there. And, that's why we're getting the speed limit, so if it's getting in a problem with, speeders or anything like that, hey, we can handle that, we can deal with that also.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, if we could revisit the conversation we had about 9, 10 months ago with a second way out, because when there's a train on that track, even if they're coming out of Jamestown, they're gonna be gridlocked right there on Wakeona Drive,
Yep.
just like they
At
are
least,
now.
at least they can get across the creek,
Right.
yeah.
So I was, you remember when we talked about before
Yeah.
of making another road to go through there?
One that you
Well, we get up
said you didn't
more
want.
money.
Well, the one I didn't want it because it was down there by Dorothy. I wanted up here closer to US one,
Right,
not just making a block around Dorothy.
okay.
Because that was all we looked at, was down there close to Dorothy. Dorothy is the only way in and out now besides US one.
If we'd went with my plan, Walnut would have come out over on Cherokee Avenue to Monroe, and Monroe right on across Ware Street, Blackshear Avenue. That would have been a perfect route, but y'all decided y'all didn't want it, so I didn't push it no more.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Burner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Got the resolution for 2023-29 settlement agreement. Thomas V. versus Ware County, Argonaut, Ware County. That's on that resolution. So Jennifer, you want to explain that for us, please?
Well, Commissioners, I think, the resolution honestly stands for itself as far as the language within, but this is to resolve two lawsuits, which is the Thomas case, the substantive case, and then also a declaratory judgment action by Argo, the insurance company, against Ware County. Certainly glad to answer any questions the Commissioners have, but that is the purpose of this resolution.
And that resolves all of this, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, what I need is a motion for this resolution.
Chairman, I move we adopt or approve Resolution 2023-29, settlement agreement as presented by our attorney.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. Now we got any discussion on it? Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Now, got any commission? I'm gonna ask, manager, you got any comment?
No, sir, I don't.
You don't? Commission comment?
I don't.
Okay. I'd like to ask one thing. I'm down at Manor, Mowers has asked to pave that little strip of road across there on Cornelius Road. And they offered to pay some. But I think we ought to accommodate these people. They do a lot of business down there. And somehow or another help them.
So they want to pay for it?
They said they would pay, they want us to pay part of it and then pay part of it. Well, I mean, I think that's a good move for.
Well, we done the same thing
Let's
for
do
Dixon
surface
Farms.
treatment.
I mean, I think the county paid half and the Dixon paid half on that road.
What are we going,
Can we ask Michael to get a surface treatment, a price to surface treatment that
We-
little
we
short,
calculated.
less than a mile, eh?
Brandon, do you remember the calculation we had on Cornelius Road?
Chairman, you know off the top of your head how long it was?
I think it's less than a mile, it's like a half a mile or something, ain't it?
Half a mile?
But there's a lot of trucks go through there, like 25 trucks a day, and
Would it be
Produce.
okay if I maybe had Mr. Dave right out there with me and look at it with Mr. Dave and see what he thought about the road and what all we might need to do about it as far as, you said, a surface treatment type of a deal, like a little, kind
Yeah.
of rural road section?
do something like that, and then see what, if they wanna pay, and then if they pay part of it, we'll, half of it, or we pay half of it.
I know.
I mean, I'm agreeable with that. if that
Diesel
help
fuel
them.
went, got up real high, and asphalt prices got up, but I think that they've come down now a little
Yeah.
bit from where they were. So I'll just have to check and see what kind of range he would have. We've been using, 600,000 or so. I mile, you know, on a roadway. So half a mile, $300,000, rough numbers without looking at it. But I can go out there and look at it with Mr. Dave and get a better idea of what kind of round.
Would you do that for us? Get us a
Mr. President,
estimate on fix?
go ahead. Where do we stand on Pascal? The
Uh,
gentleman,
Pascal, okay, I made some progress on Pascal this past week. I talked to Mr. Kitchens, and, I think I've gotten some, terms that y'all are gonna be in agreement with for that. One of the issues he brought up was the other corner. So if you're coming from, Smith Road, you'll pass Mr. Kitchen's property on your right, and then Mr. Littlejohn's on the left, and you go down there and take another left back towards the cattle gap. You have another 90-degree curve, just like we've been talking about, in Mr. Kitchen's radius. And so I've spoken with the landowner of the other curve, and they wanted to discuss this with someone in their family about a construction easement and cleaning up that radius as well. And so I think I'm made a little progress this week on that I might could get some action.
Okay. As the surveyor putting the stakes out,
Yes, sir. Surveyor put stakes out, and I called Mr. Kitchens up and asked him about it. He said he had seen them, and I think that helped him to visualize what we've been talking about this whole time. We had some discussions on the price. It's a lot more in line with what y'all were wanting me to do with that. So I think I'm making some progress on Pascal Road, and it would make sense if we were doing this in this location. We have a similar blind curve right around the corner that we would try to clean that up as well. And I've approached called the landowner about that, and they were gonna talk to their aunt, I think it was, and see about construction even for us to do that work while we're there. It would make sense to go ahead and take care of both of those areas at the same time.
Okay. Alrighty. Get us a estimate on that, for piece of road too.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you.
Brandon.
Any more?
Just want to know about Pascal.
Oh yeah, the trash pickup, are they done through with that now? Picking up the debris? What's his name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan, will you come tell us about, have they done stopped picking it up now?
They finished, along the creek pickup with the city and county. They've, just finished doing all the grinding, and they're in the process of hauling that material off.
Okay.
And, they'll probably be here another week, maybe, they'll be through.
Are they gonna do,
In other
have
words,
they
they-
done a second sweep? Cause I was,
They have done some second sweep where people's called, they went out there and picked it up. But, they did that, on a as-needed basis.
okay.
Okay. So they're through with that, so we're gonna end that contract now?
We'll
As
end
soon
it
as this
whenever
is
they
over,
finish- When they finish with the, hauling the debris, hauling the grindings, when they finish hauling all that, then they'll be finished and put we've got to look at the parking lot to see if there's any mitigation we need to do with that, and then they'll be.
Okay. Scott, have we had any calls in on any kind of damages that they created or anything? We had.
I haven't. Do you know,
I haven't
Linda, if we have?
James?
No, sir.
Okay. Good. You've done a good job, didn't you?
I think they were around 25,000 cubic yards.
Good gracious.
They picked up.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. All right, any more? Commission? All right, I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No, that's
Like sign.
right.
6:16. Who all going?
Aye.